Hi, my name is Mike Sears, and today we're going to do another in, what's become a series of tutorials on how to use the features on your new Infiniti. And you know, if you've had your car for a year or two, you might still find something useful in these tutorials, so I do, we're getting some good feedback. So take a look at them. They're kind of fun. Alright, so on the information theme, I want to show you the different ways that you can access it, really what it's for. When I'm delivering a car or even showing a car for the first time, I like to describe information like settings, for instance. So we're going to cover that. But information, if you need information on something, a lot of our cars have tire pressure in them. We're in a G coupe right now. So not every one of the cars is going to have the same items inside the menus, but I can really do this on any vehicle. Because I want to encourage you to be adventurous and go in and look and see what's in your Infiniti under information. And a lot of our cars actually do. You can tell whether if a little light comes on, you can tell that there's 28 pounds of pressure, 27, etc. So again, not every car is the same, but obviously I'm not going to be able to do one of these in each one of our models, at least not right away. But we will get started in this G37 coupe, and there's different ways to access. Just like in my previous videos, you can do it from the controls on the console, touch the screen, use voice command, and then also I have a real preference for steering wheel controls, where we're going to touch the same controls that you would use for the audio, for up and down, and for volume and changing channels. Okay, let's pan over here. We're going to just push on the information button. First thing that comes up is fuel economy. Now on fuel economy and maintenance, there is a multi-function gauge. A multi-function gauge in your dash that has this same information, and we're going to cover that in a separate video as well. I think it's important to know where everything's at in your car, because one of the nice things about Infiniti is they give you different ways to do the same thing. As you drive your car will learn basically your style, and it'll give you average fuel economy as well as fuel economy history. When I deliver a car, I will go in and I will reset it to start completely fresh. So if it's been test driven or driven around the lot and it only shows you, 8 miles a gallon around the lot or something like that, we want to get rid of that. You can go in here after you've driven your car for a while, and you can actually see your history. Now when we go back, we can touch this button here, we can touch the screen, or we can touch this button over here on the steering wheel, and we can just go like that, and we can see we went back one step. We can go like that, and we can go like that. So these are all nice ways to be able to operate your system. Maintenance. If you're out of town and you need an oil change, maybe you're at an independent shop and they don't really know how to access your vehicle and turn that little reminder off. I think it's important not only to be able to do that, but to know how to do it. So again, what you would do is push information, go to maintenance, touch engine oil, and essentially, I'm going to turn this on, by the way. Essentially what we would do is we would just reset it. If you wanted to change this to 4,000 miles or 3,000 miles, you have the ability to do that. I was brought up on the every 3 months or 3,000 miles, whichever comes first. I still do that, and it's quite okay for you to do it as well. We recommend 3 months or 3,750 miles, whichever comes first. So we'll go ahead and we'll put it on there and we'll leave it. If you would rather just turn it off for now and look at the sticker in your windshield, you could do that as well. And again, these settings are additionally in the multifunction screen, which we'll cover in a different video. I do think it's important to know. So we're going to go back, and where am I is exactly what it sounds. It'll basically give you your coordinates right down here and the name of the street or intersection. Keeping in mind that when you're in the map mode and you're on a street, it will always be displayed in this little grayed out area above my finger right here. And if you've been driving your Infiniti for even days, you've already noticed that. Okay. Traffic information will give you a turn-by-turn list of what's going on and where the construction is. This could be good if you're planning a trip, so you might find that you would use it. Most traffic information is accessed, however, automatically right here on the screen, and it's done by color. So we can see the color green, and that just means that the traffic is all clear on I-5 and Pacific Highway. If you haven't really used your traffic, because you can turn this off, and you want to see what it would look like, what we want to do is pan out a little bit and maybe look for some orange or red. Now, also, you may never use this particular way to zoom in and zoom out, but I like it a lot. Boy, traffic's looking good right now. So anyway, traffic is clear. So going back to information, weather information, this is the only place you can access weather. And there's a lot of different options here. You could go to road conditions map, warnings map, temperature map, just a regular radar map. You could do local. You could get a national map, which looks much like your computer at home. You can go back and you can go to a specific city in a specific state and get the actual current weather conditions anywhere. So we're going to go ahead and we'll go back out of here. And the map update and navigation versions will typically be used if you decide that you want to do an update in your navigation, but many people never do. I'll give you a couple of examples of why you might. You might want to do it if you built a new home on a new street that you couldn't find previously. You also might want to do it if you are using let's back up here a little bit. If you're using Chevron gasoline and you want to know where the Chevron stations are, and this isn't a plug for Chevron, I mean, you might go ahead and have a preference as well for Shell. So these are the types of things that an update can be beneficial for, since gas stations, as we all know, kind of change hands quite a bit. Back in information, like all menus, I encourage you to go into others. See what's in here. Be adventurous. Find out what your car does. Whether you use it or not, absolutely up to you. If you don't know what's there, I know you won't use it. My favorite in here is GPS positioning. It gives me my altitude, which I kind of like if I'm going over a mountain pass. I'm just kind of curious why my ears are popping. And the available satellites that you're using, as well as your coordinates. The other thing that you'll find in here is a voice recognition user guide. My preference for voice recognition user guide is actually under the settings menu, which we'll also look at. Now, if I am in, I shouldn't say if, I should say when, because I'm the kind of person that uses this stuff. Let's say I'm in this menu. If I go over the steering wheel here, I have to push the steering wheel in a little bit so we can get a better view. I can go up and down with my finger here, and I can push enter, and I can get into any of these screens. And I can also hit the back button here, and I know this is a refresher for a lot of you, but I can also use voice command. Now I'm going to go ahead and hit voice command, and we look at the menu.
Would you like to access phone,
voice command is one of our options.
Or help?
Information.
Information. Please say fuel economy, maintenance, traffic information, or where am I?
Fuel economy.
Showing fuel economy. Please use manual controls to continue.
Okay, so I can, from the steering wheel, I can just still hit the back button and back out, and you can flip in, flip out, just from the controls on the steering wheel. Never have to leave my hand or move my hand from the steering wheel, and I can go in and do all of these things and never have to, like I said, take my hand off the steering wheel. I'm going to point to this little multifunction gauge that I was talking to earlier. This really should be devoted to an entire video, so we will. But you can, much like the old Cadillacs, you can get instant fuel economy, you can get distance to empty. This is where your outside temperature is displayed, so it's a really nice screen, and you really should know about it because there's some nice items in there. And I would say that for the most part, it's a kind of a quick little video, but I think you might find it informative. So have some fun with your Infiniti. Get adventurous. See what it does. Go in there and look and see. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.